Now, Louis, a song that only a few nights ago caused me to weep because of its beauty, and I got, just from my impression from looking at you, was Bored Confusion.
It was a bit repetitive. I mean, was that Radiohead? I feel like I've learned about music. I think that's Radiohead.
I'm surprised, but yes, Louis, it was
I'm
Radiohead.
learning. Okay, those of you who've listened to episode 2, I think we had a bit on. Yeah, so I recognise they go on. Like at first I was like, okay, but I think it did sort of remind me a bit of a teenager at home going, really sort of wallowing in their pity. Oh, everything's terrible because my parents won't let me get an Xbox. Like, come on, get over it.
Louis, it's so. Did you not find any beauty in that?
I did at first, but they ruined it by just banging on and on again.
And I read you the lyrics, and what did
Can
you
I
say?
have an Xbox? Can I have an Xbox? Can I have an Xbox? All right, you can have a bloody Xbox. Now stop moaning. It was a bit. What you did a deep sigh there.
This is sacrilege in many ways. Yes, one of the Radiohead's most beautiful songs. Ed O'Brien from Radiohead thinks it's their best song.
The main thing I was thinking.
And you think it's about Tom York whining about an Xbox?
The main thing I was thinking of is the movie The Water Babies.
Well,
you ever seen that one?
I have.
He's like some Oliver Twist type chimney sweep character, accused of stealing, runs away, jumps in a river, then gets whisked off, and then it turns all Disney
into a cartoon.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of because he just talked about jumping the water.
I read you the lyrics before we started that, and what was it you said they sounded like?
A suicide note.
Yeah, I mean, and I rightfully scorned you, but I suppose if you take them literally, they could be. I jumped in the river. What did I see? Black-eyed angels swam with me.
Angels, yeah. Go on.
We all went to heaven. But I mean, it could be. But even if it is about death, what a beautiful death! All my lovers were there with me. All my past and futures.
Oh, your lovers, they'd have a row, wouldn't they? Imagine.
And we went to heaven a little bit.
I would never introduce my exes to my girlfriend.
And there was nothing to fear, nothing to doubt. What a that sounds like a most beautiful death. If it is about death, that's the kind of death I want.
All your exes together having a like, oh my god,
having a row.
I'd fear that.
There wouldn't be too many people on the shore with you, Larry. That's
fair.
At least there's that.
Yeah. So what's it actually about then?
Well, that's that.
You're going to tell me it's about him being still in love with his wife? No.
No. Radiohead. I don't think they often explain their songs. So it's about what it's your interpretation is what it's about. Well, it's a very personal thing, isn't it?
About the water babies, isn't it? Like Rugrats underwater, basically.
Yeah. It's a pyramid song. It's about the water babies. That's your.
I mean, it was a bit when I listened to that other Radiohead. I was won over. It was this odyssey. It took me on a journey, and I was thinking to myself. But I mean, you said it. Bored Confusion.
Yeah.
Not one for me. That one.
I think with repeat listens. And
I mean, that was repetitive enough, wasn't it?
Possibly physical torture. you would grow to see the beauty in that.
Talking about physical torture, I could imagine, ISIS or the American military trying to get people to confess and just play that over and over, and they'd be like, "All right, enough of the torture." I'll admit.
I'd say yes because I think we're going to be friends. They're playing me Radiohead. Yeah, I will switch sides. Where do I learn Russian?
I'm crying. I'm weeping. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think some songs they do. You do need repeat listens.
It was long as well. How long was it?
It wasn't that long.
It felt like about 10 minutes.
No, 10 minutes.
I like a 3 minute. I like a 3-4 minute.
It was
like tune traditional.
5 minutes, I think.
5
glorious minutes.
So it was 2 minutes too long.
Oh, right. We're going to try another song, Lee.
Well, before we do another song, there's something I want to talk about.
Oh,
so the other day,
you don't normally take charge of the podcast like this, Louis.
You drank too many special brews. You're having a weep over Radiohead. Today, Dry January. We're doing the dry. This is the Dry January themed podcast. We're not having a drink. And I just wanted to mention that because the last one, listen back, I'm slurring, and we got some feedback from our friend Catherine in the north, and she kicked off with because I told her about it, and she had a listen, and her first thing she said was. How many drinks did you guys have before we
probably talking about you mainly, Louis, but she felt she had to say.
Let me just here's the message. Right, she says, hey, I listened to the podcast a couple of days ago. You guys are weirdly obsessed with paedophiles! ! How many pints did you have before you recorded it? And then she said, I didn't hear the shout out. I guess I didn't make the edit. Well, she got a shout out here now, but. Yeah. So, but I feel often in comedy, people, when they first get into it, they go through like a rude phase. I think maybe we got that out of our systems.
We've got that fucking country rude phase out of our systems, yeah.
So I've been trying to...
What a relief.
Okay. But I think, right, so we've got that out of systems. There's not... We don't need to make the paedophile jokes anymore. We don't have to be sat here drinking special brew.
You're going to be losing the few
Dry
fans we
January.
have who are drawn to that.
It's dry. I think people would say... Because January is a time when sometimes people give... They go on a diet or you try and do... not drink in January. And so I think...
Not me. I'm only not drinking, so I had heart palpitations the other day. Otherwise, I'd be having a drink.
I mean, maybe
drinking's not cool, kids. Don't overdo it.
If you're getting heart palpitations, but that's your body telling you to, go easy. Do you know what else we had? Wednesday was
telling me to die, isn't it?
There was that old thing you used to say that the liver is evil and must be punished.
I had a T-shirt that said that. The liver is evil and must be punished.
And now you're punishing. Maybe your heart now is. But
I mean, that's a T-shirt that only the young can wear, isn't it? Really? So if you wear that, imagine wearing that and going into a hospital for your second transplant or something. It'd be terrible. But the other thing, Louis, speaking of fans, we've technically us. I think it's for me, but we've had some fan mail. We had a lovely message from an old school friend.
Yep.
An old school friend, Mark, and he wrote some lovely words. And I didn't know he was listening, but he said he listened to every single one of them. He said, "Don't stop." So I thought that was very lovely. So thank you very much, Mark, for that wonderful. And it really cheered me up.
And I think you sent me that one. It also said, I've been listening to the Music Matters podcast.
Well.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, this listener is called the Music Natters with an N. Music Natters. It's a little play on. So I met a guy last night.
Oh, yeah.
An artist, musician, getting into technology and just stuff with music. Anyway, he was on a BBC podcast called Music Matters. Did he just get the wrong podcast?
No, he actually said, I said Music Matters when I meant Music Natters. I should have blamed autocorrect, but it's a bit late now. So, but no, he didn't.
Oh, it's correct. Okay, all right, I'll take that. Okay, good.
Embarrassingly as well, he sent me such a lovely message, and then I realised that he'd sent me a message because I haven't spoken to him in 10 years. And the last message he sent to me, I didn't reply to.
9.5 years ago.
And then he took the time to listen to the podcast and reply to me. And I hadn't even replied to his last message. I think
bastard.
Because I was probably going through that bit of a dick phase that I've been going through since about 13 till about 10 years from now. So I can only apologise for that, Mark. And I wonder how many other people I just haven't. You just forget to reply to, because when that happens to me, I really hate it.
I know it's happened to me.
But no, I'm that dick as well. Oh, yeah. So I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't mean not.
Thanks for listening, Mark.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this weepy, miserable episode. Go have a cry on us.
The only miserable part of this podcast, as usual, is you, Louis, dragging it down. You seem to specialise in dragging people down.
I'm trying to lighten the mood. We had Wednesday was Blue Wednesday they call it. It's supposed to be the most miserable day.
That was invented by the marketing people at I think Sky. There's no scientific basis. It's not the saddest day. It was invented. No, not Sky. It was a travel company invented that so they could sell more holidays.
Okay, I've been scammed. That makes me want to cry.
You, Louis, yes, not for the first time, not for the last, have been scammed. It is a scam. It's not the saddest day of the year. That's rubbish.
Well, I think we've all learned something today.
Father Christmas, buy Coca-Cola. It's all a scam. Music Natters! Let's listen to another song. Let's listen to this song.
You'd be telling me the Easter Bunny's fake next.
This is another beautiful song, and I'd like to know what you think of this beautiful song, Louis. This is going to touch your heart, your little black heart. Here we go.